All right, and good afternoon. Welcome to our WWL Plus weather update. We're also streaming on Facebook, so if you join us on Facebook, you can ask us questions. I'm going to do a little bit of a weather discussion, a little bit more in-depth, even more so than we can do on air, as we're going to go through a number of models, and then we're going to do a little bit of question and answer to hopefully alleviate any concerns that you might have with some of the wild posts that I've been seeing on social media. So let's take us through. What we know is on the way starting tonight. A lot of folks have been asking, when would I start to need to run that water? It's we always kind of get mixed reports and information about running water, because it does kind of reduce the water pressure if firefighters need to fight a fire, but you also do want to protect those pipes. So if you absolutely need to, it's going to be that thin stream of water beginning tonight on both sides of the lake. We're going to be very close in the metro area, but I would err on the side of caution, and definitely both sides of the lake have those pipes protected starting tonight. Our winter storm warning is now in place, and we will see several inches of snow as we go throughout the day on Tuesday, and it is now looking more and more likely that this may be an all snow event. We'll talk about some of the pros and cons of that. So what you need to prepare for: the hard freeze, as well as staying home. Not that you were going to be trapped in your homes, but just staying off the roadways. It's going to be, you'll be able to get around if you need to, if absolutely necessary, but just hang inside if you don't need to go anywhere Tuesday, and certainly into Wednesday morning, and the possibility even going into Thursday morning. And we'll talk more about that in just a moment. Now, here's the most likely scenario for our snow and that sleet, freezing rain line as we go through the day on Tuesday. If you remember, this is a graphic that went back to last week. This line was quite a bit farther north. Well, it's looking more and more likely that it's going to be more of southeast Louisiana seeing all snow, maybe some frozen precipitation like freezing rain or sleet mixed in there, but it's looking more and more likely that this is going to be primarily a snow event. And I will say, this line is going to fluctuate, and it may fluctuate even farther down to the south. A lot of folks have said, well, I've kind of split Thibodaux and Houma. A lot of models indicating it's going to be primarily snow in Houma as well. So don't focus too much on that line, only with regards to the fact that it has pushed much farther south. So this is what our thinking is going to be for accumulation: 3 to 5 inches, primarily both sides of the lake. There really hasn't been anything in the guidance saying that the North Shore is going to get necessarily more than the South Shore. Now, obviously, as you go farther south from the city, the accumulation total should be less, but more so as you head into the western Florida parishes and out toward the Atchafalaya and more so Acadiana. That's where we could see over a half a foot of snow. Right now, and I will be honest, these are kind of on the higher end of the 3 to 5 inches on both sides of the lake. Those, keep something in mind. Well, we've had a number of dustings of snow over metro New Orleans. The last time we had over just an inch of snow was back in 1963. It was on New Year's Eve, 1963. So that was 2.7 inches. We could see double that as we head into Tuesday. Here's what some of the models are saying. Now, this is the GFS. It's on a little bit lower, 1 to 3 across much of the area. Parts of the North Shore, more so Florida parishes, 3 to 5. Then as you head out toward Baton Rouge, 5 to 7 inches of snow. As we look at the Euro, little bit higher, and kind of the range of what we were thinking, 3 to 5. Notice this model actually has a bit more on the South Shore than it does north of the lake, which is why our thinking right now is going to be kind of even amount north and south. So you don't have to travel anywhere if you want to see the snow. I'm thinking back to 2008, or excuse me, 2017, where we had quite a bit of snow on the North Shore, not much of anything south of the lake, and a lot of folks, including my wife and daughter, headed up to the North Shore to see the snow. That's not going to be the case. You will be able to see it just about everywhere across southeast Louisiana. Now, I'm also going to show this model. This is the one model that I have seen a few folks share on social media, and it is the extreme outlier. This is the graph model. These are extreme numbers that not even the forecast package that the Weather Service uses in their extreme numbers, it's not even this high. So these are almost out of the ballpark type numbers of what is not likely to occur. The chance of this is incredibly low. That 3 to 5, I think, is a solid number. Again, don't base anything on just one model output. That's why we tend to show the different models and then give you our best estimate as we've looked at all of the data. And this is going back for several days of looking at the data. Now, a rough idea of the timing. We're going to be under mostly clear skies tonight and mostly sunny skies during the day tomorrow. As we head later into the evening, that's when the clouds start rolling in, and then we start to see some of that frozen precipitation, maybe starting before daybreak. Note how the model has a little bit of snow, but also maybe some isolated areas or spotty areas of kind of freezing precipitation or a mix of sleet, snow, and freezing rain. That line really gets pushed down farther south as we go through the morning, and then some significant snowfall across the region throughout most of the day tomorrow. Good news is, though, it's not going to be an all-day event. As we get toward 5, 6, 7 o'clock, most, if not all, of the snow will already be moving out. Then comes the question of ice on roadways. Now, during the day on Tuesday, early in the morning, it's going to take some time to see any kind of accumulation on the ground. It usually ends up a little bit longer for the snow to occur for any accumulation on the roads. If we do see those several inches and it's through the course of the afternoon and into the early evening, then we could see some snow accumulated on the roads. The good news, though, is that if we don't see as much of the freezing rain or anything melting and then refreezing, ice may be a bit more limited. And in fact, a lot of the models are now really downplaying just where the ice accumulation would be. Not over the city, certainly not across the North Shore. It may be down in the bayou parishes south of the city as you approach the coast. These may be the only areas where ice is more of a concern as we get into our Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Then the question will be, what do the temperatures do Wednesday during the day to help clear any snow on the ground or if there is any ice on the roadways. As we start into Tuesday morning, the temperatures have not really been solidified just yet. Some of the models still try and bring temperatures just above freezing, which will cause a little bit of melting, and then getting back below freezing, which would then cause some refreezing, and that is where we could see some of those spotty areas of ice. Otherwise, it looks like we may stay below freezing throughout the day for much of southeast Louisiana on Tuesday. Then we're certainly getting back below freezing as we head into Wednesday morning. We will get above freezing Wednesday during the day, but not dramatically so. So it may be that there will still be snow on the ground throughout the day on Wednesday, even into Thursday morning, which is why I was saying there is that possibility of the kind of hanging out at home through Thursday morning. We will see. Here's a look at two of the other models, our Euro and our GFS. And again, the timing really is about the same. Early morning, we'll start to see more so out to the west and patchy areas. Now, this is going to get started much earlier out to the west and will be ongoing throughout the afternoon and evening. There will be some bands within there of heavy snowfall. May get a little period, as per the Euro, of maybe a little bit of frozen precipitation. We'll see. That exact line, again, is going to be key to where it's going to be ice on the roads or it is just snow on the roads. Then as we get into early Wednesday morning, snow, rain, ice, it's all gone. Timing-wise, about the same. GFS does bring it in a little bit earlier and then kind of continues it through the afternoon and evening. So this is not an all-day event, but certainly all during the midday and afternoon hours before the snow and any kind of wintry weather clears out. What we're waiting to happen is the development of a Gulf low. There is nothing there right now. In fact, we're dominated by high pressure up to our north. So we have to wait for that system to even develop before we know the real impacts and the timing. Now, the models have been fairly consistent over the last several days, but kind of like with tropical weather, until something forms, it does make forecasting it a little bit more difficult. That system gets going as we head into the probably midday hours tomorrow. That low will start to organize, and then the system moves in early Tuesday morning, clears out by Wednesday, or really Tuesday evening, and then by Wednesday we're back under mostly sunny skies, which again should help to melt any snow that has accumulated. The cold air is moving south and will continue to do so. Look, now the heart of that cold air is into southern Canada and the northern United States, and it is still pushing south. So the heart of that coldest, or the more Siberian air mass has already started to move into into the northern United States and will continue to push south over the coming days. High temperatures will be only into the lower 40s, a hard freeze on the North Shore and south of the lake. It'll be right near the hard freeze line for the metro area tomorrow, but I would protect the pipes just in case. And also it'll be breezy in the morning tomorrow, so keep in mind that wind chill will feel like the teens. It's not the greatest of days to even want to go outside. Again, the temperatures are kind of the question mark on Tuesday, whether or not we actually get above freezing at all during the day. If we stay below freezing and it is only snow, that's actually our best case scenario. We can still function. It's the ice that becomes more dangerous. It is going to be very cold on Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning right now looking to be our coldest morning in the teens and mid-20s. That is definitely a hard freeze on the South Shore. And again, we'll have kind of a close call on another hard freeze south of the lake on Thursday morning. So several mornings of hard freezes. Once those pipes are protected tonight, just leave them wrapped for the week. We're back into the upper 40s during the day Friday. Again, maybe near a hard freeze north of the lake. And then notice this, kind of a quick warm-up. When you're on the Gulf Coast, it doesn't take much to see those temperatures start to spike. We're back into the 50s as we head into our Saturday, 56. It'll be a cold morning, 20s and 30s, but above freezing on the South Shore. And then as we head into Sunday, the high 65. It'll be almost balmy. Actually, that even back to the 40s will feel almost balmy as temperatures will start to rebound toward next weekend.